I'm going to try to cover two different little sales training topics today. Hopefully one of them is going to be a little bit of fun and playful, and the other just a little bit of a very important reminder, which is the one that's more on my head. But if I can figure out how to say the playful one best, I will. I believe one of the most important things in being able to communicate to people in this world and be able to get across and be remembered is to speak in stories, speak in images. People remember images much, much better than they do facts. And trying to be a storyteller is the best and flowing way to do that. For example, I heard someone once that gave a great scientific statement on why the human gestation is 9 months and the correlation of birth and the size of the human head and why it takes so long to develop and blah, 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 versus the development of monkeys, which is a shorter time and the smaller brain and all of this. And it was a great statement of facts, and you couldn't hold on to it or give a tinker's damn within a matter of seconds because it was just too much boom. And then I heard a guy tell this really great story, and he was talking about the fact of why statistically you're not common and why what you work towards and your dedication towards it is not common. And he said, I'll give you the numbers, and he gave the numbers, and he goes, how many of you can remember them? And nobody could. He said, well, did you know the gestation period for an elephant is 2 years? It takes 2 years from the day an elephant becomes conceived till birth is a 2-year period. But for a dog, wonderful, beautiful, loving dog, we all adore them, it's 2 months. To the point, a big dog can have a litter of as much 10, 11, 12, 13 puppies. 6, 7, 8 is very common. And they can have as many as 6 litters a year. So a dog can have a ton. He goes, imagine a dog and an elephant are friends, and they're in the same sewing circle, and they both say, oh, I'm pregnant on the same day. And after about 1.5 years, the dog looks at the elephant and goes, you're not pregnant. I've already had 147 puppies. And the elephant looks at the dog and says, but what's inside of me is not a puppy. It is not common. It is not regular. It is not short-lived. What's inside me is an elephant. Now, I love that story, and I go there for this purpose. Number one, you don't remember the stats and the facts, and I didn't bore you with them, but you can remember the image of a puppy and an elephant baby, and the mother's talking, and the story holds, and it flows with you, and it has power. Now, the power is this, to relate to you. You are not selling widgets. You are not selling a car. You're not even selling a house. You are not selling hamburgers. You're not selling cheeseburgers. You're not selling a t-shirt. You are not selling something common. You are selling something special. You are selling something unique. You are selling something that changes the world. That when it steps, the earth shakes. When it moves, people are in awe. When they see, they can't believe such a thing could have the ability to move, for how could such a creature exist? You are selling an elephant. And it takes time, and it takes work, and it takes steps, and it takes stages. It is not a, what's up, slugger? It is a controlled and following process. From there, we're going to flow into the second stage. Hold that and flow with it. If not, make this all brand new. There are true truths to being a successful salesperson, and there's really only 2, and I'll actually write them down. Number 1, did I misspell that? I always misspell things.
No, you're...
Number 2. If you are not succeeding, you are failing in one or the other. If you have confidence, if you have strength, if you have belief in self, if you walk in owning the room, you will sell a certain number of people on that alone, period. If you have none, and if you are mousy and weaselly and bleh, which I couldn't buy from you, bah. But if you are, and you do all the steps, and you do them correctly, you will sell some. But if you have confidence, and if you do the steps, you will sell a lot. And if your sales are off, look at your confidence first. And if your confidence is okay and your sales are off, be harsh on yourself about following the steps because you're not doing it. You can't not create it. It will happen. Your elephant will be born. But you gotta walk in knowing it, and you gotta have the steps. The steps are discipline. The steps are not lying to yourself. The steps are looking at it. I had a new salesperson we hired, trained, and sent out, packed with a ton of leads, even did a good job, got a lot of presentations, and didn't sign contracts. We've done enough of this to know, guys, that's impossible. It's impossible. You can't get 80 leads and do 20 presentations and not sign a contract. It's impossible. So either A, didn't believe in system, or B, thought he knew better. Regardless, was taught the correct steps and stages and flow, believed he knew better. So it's either A or B, period. Which means you look at that person and you say, unfortunately, it's probably going to take you a month to make it up, but I've already lost a month on you, you got a week. Fix confidence, fix steps, or go home. Because I'm not going to tinker around with the person that knows better. Not for the cash flow it costs to get here. Because once you get those little crops, if you don't harvest them, they just rot it in the field and we waste a lot of opportunity and a lot of money. It's one of the hassles and negatives of life. But the reality is you can honestly check it quick. You know. Don't lie to yourself. If you're not signing 10% of your leads, you don't have enough confidence and you're not following the steps properly. You're going to be, that's all right, let's go half that. It's half. 5%. I should be able to take a nice, simple-minded 8-year-old and teach them the steps and teach them belief in what we have and what we do and have them sign 5%. So if you're not, you haven't got right confidence, you're not following the steps. And if you're like, oh, it's a, man, ask. We've got it. It's all over. It's all in Knowledge Center. It's packed. You want the steps, they're in there. You want the sales training that goes with them, they are in there. You want the process, pardon me, I'm grabbing this. We have it printed out with cute pictures. It's not, we're happy to send you that as well. You ever forget the steps? Ask. You ever question, I think I'm doing them right, but I'm not, I got good confidence and I think I'm doing the steps right? Call. Help us help you see where you're missing one. Because trust me, guys, I've been there, I've done it. I've been positive I followed the steps and my sales weren't there. So I called people that I knew would be mean to me. And not really, but it felt that way because you know you're screwing up and it hurts to be looked at. And they helped me see what I couldn't see. I could not see the arrow, knife, the flaw, this disease on my back. Can't see my back. They could, so I was able to fix that. I was able to find where I was missing it. So take advantage. Take advantage of us and what we can do. Take advantage of me and what I can help you through. Call me and let me help. But if you're doing these, and if you remember that you are special, you remember what you are creating and what you're setting, you should be good. By the way, what's the real power of the story we began with the elephant? It helps you have confidence. When you're slow, when you're plugging, when you're, oh, where's my result? Oh yeah, I'm creating an elephant. Something special. This isn't a roundabout boat. This isn't a Green John boat. This is an aircraft carrier. This is something that displaces water in the ocean that has effect thousands of miles away. In the ocean. This is big. Have your confidence as you go. I've rambled enough. I appreciate y'all. I know how special you are. I know how great you are. And I know how much you succeed. By the way, I also know how much you help each other and how much I appreciate it. Please keep doing so. And remember, we all have a day where we get knocked. We all need help getting back up. And I am very thankful to those of y'all that have done so for me in the past and have continued to do so for me. And by the way, if anybody's like, what was it, Robert? 6 weeks ago that you sent me an encouraging note that meant a ton to me. They got me able to, that little extra strength to help pull out of the mud. It's nice to have somebody help tug on that string when you're trying to pull yourself out as well. And I appreciate it and I remember it and I am grateful for it. And I love to return the favor when I can, and I'm so glad we all do so for each other as well. Guys, keep at it. Keep helping us be the best we can be, and thank you for everything.